Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new Let's Stream. We're going back to an old classic, one of my all-time favorite RPGs out there, this is what I like to call the Legend of Dragoon Enhanced Edition. Now, there's a couple things I want to explain because this isn't going to be your run-of-the-mill Legend of Dragoon playthrough that you'll find on YouTube. So for YouTube, if you don't want to hear the explanation about how this is all going to work, I will leave a comment down below to tell you to go to such and such time to when I actually start the playthrough, because I'm going to take a couple minutes and kind of explain how everything's going to work. For the most part, this part is just mainly going to be it's just going to be mainly me explaining things, because the actual gameplay, for at least for this part, is gonna be pretty damn short. So for everybody else, here's how this is going to work. First off, what do I mean by enhanced edition? No, this game did not, obviously you can tell this game did not get a surprise remaster on next gen consoles or anything like that. This is just standard PlayStation 1 Legend of Dragoon. But there's a twist. Back when I was doing Zero and Azure, I came across something on YouTube that was actually pretty interesting. It is called the difficulty modifier, made by a guy named Zychronics. Obviously, as you can tell from the name, it adds, well, difficulty to the game. Some primary things it adds in a hard and a hell mode to the game, which, as you could probably imagine, that makes the game an overall game harder, as well as the standard normal mode. And it also adds a bunch of other fun little modifiers that you can further enhance and make the gameplay more unique. So we're going to be going through this game with that modifier. I've already done a playthrough of this before, and I found nothing wrong with it. So it was kind of hard to come up with an excuse to come back and do another playthrough. Just having commentary this time around wasn't enough for me to come back to this. But when I found this mod, I feel like it's going to add a different kind of experience to the game. So that was reason enough for me to come back and do a second playthrough of this. So yeah. So to make it a little bit more interesting for me, I am going to be imposing 3 challenges to myself as I go through the game. Challenge number 1 is going to be the modifiers that I'll be using, and I will show off what the modifier actually looks like once we actually get into the game, because when I was testing this out, it kind of made the cutscenes lag a little bit. I don't know if it was just my computer. I don't know if it was just the graphics settings I was using at the time. It's changed now, so hopefully that's fixed. But I'll show off the modifier in just a little bit. But yeah, challenge 1, modifiers. I'm not going to use a lot. There's, like I mentioned, there's a couple of different things you could use for the game. I'm not going to use all of them, mainly because there's some that I just don't know how to use properly. There's some that I just don't want to use in general. But the first modifier that I will be using is something called Enrage. Now, what this modifier does, health meters in this game is indicated by a little triangle over a target's head when you target them in battle. Blue, yellow, and then red. Once enemies' health, I think this applies to normal enemies too, not just bosses, but once enemies' health drops in the yellow range, their stats increase, I believe it was 10%, and then once they drop into the red, they increase another 15%. So enemies get harder and harder as the fights go on, which make things pretty interesting later in the game, because there are actually some pretty hard bosses later in the game normally. So that's gonna be fun. It's probably gonna be frustrating, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. 'Cause no doubt we will. Modifier number 2. This isn't so much of a challenge to make the game easier. It'll just make the next challenge, at least for me, it's just a little bit easier and more convenient. This modifier will allow you to save anywhere, so no longer will it be tied to looking for save points. I've got save states, which I'll also be using. Why I'm using this, I'll explain when I talk about the next challenge. But yeah, it's just more of a convenience sake. It doesn't really make the game easier. Modifier number 3 is breaking the damage cap. Now, I've never once hit the damage cap ever in this game. I don't even know what the damage cap is. I'm assuming it's 9,999. So, yeah, we can break that. I don't know if it's going to be like Final Fantasy X, where you put breaking the damage caps on celestial weapons and their overall damage is generally increased. So, like, you could deal like 8,000 something damage in Final Fantasy X before you put the cap on, the cap break on, and then once you do it afterwards, they, instead of doing 8,000, they'll do like 12,000 or something. I don't know if it's gonna be like that. I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know if this will make the game easier. I don't know if it'll break the game entirely. I don't know if I don't know if it'll make any difference at all. So we'll find out. Modifier. The next modifier that I'll be using, it's not really a modifier per se. It's more like a Game Shark hack code. It's not really a modifier. Normally I would never use Game Shark codes on the playthrough, but to mitigate the difficulty that I'll most likely be experiencing as I go through this playthrough, I will be enabling all the Dragoon spirits at the start of the game, besides the final one, just to kind of like hopefully balance things out. And I'll explain more about that. What I mean by in terms of balance things out when I get to the challenge to the second and third challenges. Next modifier I don't really want to talk about right now, because on the off chance that there's somebody in here who hasn't played this game, doesn't know the story, and it's a damn big spoiler. So I'm not gonna say what that mod is. It's if I use it. So when we get to that point in the game, I'll be like, hey, we reached that point. We're using this. We're gonna test this out. Blah blah blah. That's how that's gonna work. So until then, I'm not gonna make a mention of it. That is all for the mods, I believe, that I'll be using. If there's more, and I'll just explain them when I get into the game. That's challenge 1. Challenge 2. Every single boss, whether it's a mini boss or a full-fledged boss, every single one of them will be played on all the difficulties: normal, hard, and hell. That's not so much of a challenge per se. It's more like my morbid curiosity, because I want to see how each boss plays out differently with the modifiers on, with each mod, or with each difficulty, with Enrage on. So yeah, and those boss videos will be they'll be their own videos. So one video will just be about bosses, to make it more convenient to watch on YouTube. That's challenge number 2. That's why I have save anywhere and save states. It'll just make it getting back to those bosses easier. That's challenge 2. Challenge 3. Like I mentioned before, this modifier adds in a normal. Oh well, it was already in there. This modifier adds in a hard and a hell mode, along with the normal difficulties. How this is going to work, to make at least most use of this mod, I'm going to be using both hard and hell difficulties. I will not be using normal, because there's no points aside from the bosses. But how I'm going to be using both of them is this. With each new area that we go to, I will be swapping the difficulties around. So one area could be hard, the next area could be hell, The area after that could be hard, then it's hell, hard hell, and so on and so forth. So, which will make things interesting, because there are some pretty tough dungeons later on in the game. Well, because I guess they're not really dungeons per se, but you know what I mean. So that's going to be interesting. The only exceptions to this is there's only 3 exceptions: towns and cities, except for one, because there's no random encounters in them, so there's really no point in swapping difficulties around. The second exception is world map. We're not on the world map long enough to justify a change in difficulty, so world map can be played on any difficulty. And the third exception is on the off chance, on the occasions that we have to backtrack through an area we've already completed. This is more prominent in disc 2 than any of the other discs. But for instance, we go through one area, we completed it, but then we have to go that area like 2 or 3 more times just to get to a new location. Those instances I can be at any difficulty I want if I just want to go through them. Any new place that we've been through, or that we're going to, that we haven't been to before, will be swapped difficulties. If that makes sense. But, yeah. How I'm going to start this out is, since the first place that we technically start out is a town, I don't really need to start at any difficulty I want. But just to give you a feel for it, we're going to be starting out on hard. This difficulty, the difficulty swap for the next area after the first town will still be hard because, like I said, we're in a town, so it doesn't matter what difficulty I'm at. But yeah, I think that's all I really. There's also a couple other mods that aren't part of this modifier, but I don't know if I put them in right. We'll see. There's a mod that supposedly increases your inventory storage to 64 rather than 32. There's a mod that will allow full XP for party members that are not in your party, so they won't fall behind in levels. There's no really good way for me to test that and very viably, because obviously it's hard when you haven't made any progress in the game. So we'll have to see if that actually works. I don't know if I did it. I don't know if I applied it right. I'm pretty sure I did, but if I didn't, oh well. I think that's all I really wanted to say. So, if at any points throughout this playthrough that you want to test out this mod yourself, because when I was looking through YouTube, there's not, at least with how people made their titles for their videos, I didn't find a whole lot of coverage for this mod via a playthrough. I mean, I found one guy's, but I think that's one of the mod people themselves. But I haven't found a whole lot of coverage about this mod through that's actually used in a playthrough. So this will be interesting. But yeah, anyway, if you want to check this mod out at any point in time, I will leave a link in the description throughout the entire playthrough that will link you to the website where you can get the mod, where it will tell you how to install it, what each little thing does, as well as Psychronix's YouTube channel in the description to give him credit for this. And yeah, I'll be there. So let's not chit chat. Let's go on into this.
Great Commander. This way.
So, this is her. Indeed. Put her in custody. Is this really necessary?
It is His Majesty, Emperor Dole's command to take that girl into custody.
Who is she?
That is not your concern.
Oh boy! That's not good. We're up to a rough start already. Alright, even though I've already gone through this game multiple times, this isn't exactly a blind playthrough, but I'm gonna do my best not to say anything that might spoil anything. So I'm gonna act like this is like all new to me. You know how it goes. Ugh. What's that? That's not good. The green tusked dragon Feybrand. Uh-oh. Chapter 1, Sardian War. Chance of war more likely. I hope it's just a rumor. Yeah, the text speed is not... it's pretty slow. Hello. Who are you? Are you a mercenary of Basil? Answer! Fuck you! What are you doing? Are you drawing a sword against us? What is... what the heck is this? Ah! I gotta do something or I'll be killed! Run, boy! What a monster! It's coming! Ah. Who's this? Lady in black. Who are you? Shh. If you don't want to die. Thank you for saving me. What the heck was that? It's a dragon. Dragon? But it's strange. That village could have easily been destroyed without a dragon. The village? Are you talking about Celis? Then those soldiers were... There won't be anything left by now. Celis is my village! Oh my god? That man must be... No, there's no way. The translation in this game is kind of funky at times. It's not the best translation. Oh no! My god! Where is everybody? Alright, here's where I'm going to show off the modifier itself. Let me boot it up real quick. Alright. Let me put this on the screen. Oh. Something I want to do. That's something I don't want to do either. There. Where is it? Where's the mod? Hello? Alright, where'd it go? Managed to pop up before. That's for that. I don't know why it's not popping. You know what? Just do this. Alright, let me try this. There we go. Oh, now the thing pops up. What the fuck? Alright. Here is the modifier. Down here, this is your party stuff. Your name, the name of the party member will go here, their health, you know, their attack, defense, all that kind of stuff are here. This is where the enemy stuff would be. Here's the difficulties. So you can change it how you want. You can even change the values themselves. I'm not gonna mess with this though. I'm just gonna go straight to a hard. Green means blue means it's enabled. We're gonna do save anywhere, damage caps, and rage. All these kinds of fun things. You can have a lot of fun with these things. But I guess we could do this. But what this does is, if you use a magic item on an enemy, whatever that element for that item is, that enemy will change their element to that attack item for, I think it's only like 3 turns. You know, there's a bunch of there's lots of things you can do. These are really interesting. You can get extra turns, but these are the ones I don't know quite how to use yet. I might test them out later on, but that's gonna be for another time. You also have all this. You know, you can buff their attack, their magic, and you can change their battle or their position battle. Which we're gonna do at least for Dart at the moment, because we only have him in the party. We're gonna do with early editions. What this does is you get editions earlier than you would normally do. So like for instance, you get I don't remember the levels that they get editions exactly, but let's say Dark gets one edition at like level 30. Instead of level 30, you can get that same edition at like level 20 or something. That's basically what it means. Edition level up. I'm not quite sure what that means either. I mean, I'm assuming it's faster level ups. I still don't know how to do, because how additions are leveled up in this game is what additions are leveled up by one successful completion in battle. So I'm not quite sure how that affects it, but we'll find out. I don't know if it just makes it stronger. This makes his Dragoon spirit stronger too, but you lose access to Flame Shot, which is his first ability, which is kind of weird. So probably when I get more SP or MP, I will use it. But right now, I'm not going to use it. This is the test room. So you go into the area of random battles. You can test out. You can max out additions if you want. Play around with it as much as you want. I'm not going to be using that right now. You can buy. Actually, you can actually buy stuff directly from here too, but since we have no gold, there's no point. So yeah, that's gonna be what happens. See, it tells you it's access to hard mode, so the game will register in hard mode. Alright, so just to show you that it's actually working, save anywhere is enabled. Now, to get all Dragoon spirits at the start, you need to press X and L1. And there we go. You have all Dragoon spirits at the start. Now, like I said, it's just to balance things out. But yeah, here's an example about how different this would be. You didn't get enough killing? Maybe enough if I kill you. Uh-oh. Stop! Motherfuckers. Oh, a mercenary? Isn't it a little late for you to show up? Shut up! What are you doing here? Can't you see? We're gonna occupy this area, and these worms are in our way. Occupy? Were you sent by the Imperial Army? Even if we were, it's none of your business. You're gonna die soon. You're gonna die soon. I don't think so. Now, on a normal playthrough, you would one-shot these guys. So let's see if I actually one-shot them.
Yes. Double flash.
Nope. These on a normal playthrough, these guys have 4 HP, so you'd one-shot them.
Yes. Double.
See how my damage is decreasing? That's with Enrage.
Yes. Double flash. Yes. Double flash.
All right.
Yes. Double flash.
This game probably has one of the best battle systems I've seen in a turn-based game. Just the fact they have additions, it beats. You know, obviously you can have strategy in a turn-based game. It's not just mashing X and going for a swing. But I like this battle system a lot because of the additions. Because you have to actually time your attacks, and there's also counters that you also have to keep in mind too, and on later editions.
Yes. Double flash.
Now, this is another example right here. You would not get a level up here if you just did this normally. You would get, I don't know how much XP you get normally, but you would not level up. So that's also something else to show you. This also brings, I should mention, XP is scaled, obviously, as you can tell, on hard and hell mode. I'm not sure how much it's scaled to, but it'll make grinding just a little bit easier so you're not falling behind, because especially with hell mode, it can get pretty difficult, because I've tested out hell mode a while back when I first found this mod, and I got my ass whipped in the next fight. Volcano, I got a new addition. Wonderful. Hey, better run. Are you really Dart? Yes, it's me. Why Cell's under attack? War. Imperial Sandora. They attacked us. What about the truce? Yeah. Suddenly, I didn't imagine they could come to such an outlying area. If only I had come back sooner. There is something you have to do. Shauna. But rescue Shauna. Only you can. Oh no, he's dead! What about Shauna? Hey, wait! Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Alright. I'm going to save it here and stop this part. Why so early? Because the next thing we're gonna do is I consider a mini boss, because it's not really a full-fledged boss. So it's a perfect opportunity to show you how I'm gonna go through all the bosses. So yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna stop here, like I mentioned, and we'll be back for more bosses. Hopefully my explanation made sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, leave a comment, whatever. I'll try my best to explain it in more in depth, but hopefully I got most of it across. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next parts where I can further show off